Does the character Marz from Spoken Third need therapy? What do you think, Jasmine?
Okay, so to be very honest with you, I definitely 1,000% feel that Mars needs therapy. I feel like there's no way in hell that he doesn't need it. I feel like when a man goes through um, that much situations and a lot of like immediate problem solving, I feel like you're just very much fight or flight that you never had time to actually process. You've just been so like the character, sorry, Mars. You've just been so on go and you're just very much like, okay, like I just need to make sure everybody else is good aside from yourself. And I feel like you have yet to like process like throughout Spoken Third. It's just like you've just been so on the go, like being the hero, basically, like being
Yeah,
the hero.
I like that.
And it's just like you don't really in within the entire series, it's just like you've never had a moment to just vent and just process and just heal. Like you have many conversations just based off of what the circumstances are, but you never get to just process. So I definitely feel like you need therapy.
Mm. Yeah, because like with the couples therapy aspect, like I just kind of wanted to like tell grounded stories. And like you've seen like my relationships with other characters, like, you know, not to get you confused with Callie, who plays Jasmine in Spoken Third, and you're Jasmine and you play Samantha in
Right.
Spoken Third, right? So I'm gonna go in chronological order of all of the relationships, like even if you like don't remember them. Um
Hmm.
like Shauna, which is the first girl from season one who like I had that was like a girl that I had a crush on in high school, and like she ended up trying to set me up and then kill me. Like that's one way to go. Like that one
Right.
was crazy. And then we have like Jasmine, who was like my manager, who like unfortunately got her life cut short in the end of season
Yeah.
two. That one was crazy. Then we have like
Right.
Deja too, which is really important. But I wanted her to come back for season two, but our schedules didn't align, so I had to like think quick. Deja is actually
Right.
Dion's sister, which is like the main op from season one and season two. That's his sister, and like I used to tutor her in elementary school and stuff like that, and I ended up hooking up with her in season one. And then like we have Eliza, who's like the fling that I have like in season two, and you'll be seeing her in season three also. And then like
Okay. Period.
what about Samantha, your character? Like you used to work on the podcast, you had like history with my character in a professional
For
and
sure.
personal sense. Like you want to elaborate more about like what you thought, how you interpreted everything when you got the script, and like what did you feel about that?
Okay. So with my role as Samantha, I feel as though like my character and Mars's character, I feel like they had a history to the point where there was some vulnerability at a certain point in the series. Like there was an episode where Marz actually felt like compelled to vent to Samantha in full vulnerability, even knowingly that like Samantha's boyfriend was his op. So I feel like their relationship was like it was just due to the history of us, like of them being good friends and them having like a little bit of a history with the flirtation and stuff like that. Like I feel like um the way the circumstances of the situation were, it's just like there was still like a lot of like love, like through friendship, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Samantha really very much like she empathized Mars's situation with like losing his partner because Samantha was really like she held her partner very dear to her heart, even though he did like murk her, but like she was all for him, and I just felt like she very much was just there to listen, and I felt like there was a point where like as much as she knew it was wrong to kind of talk to Marz under the circumstances of her boyfriend's beef with Marz, she still like valued him as a friend and really empathized his situation to just sit and listen. So,
Yeah.
that's what I could say.
Yeah, no, I felt like when I wrote the Samantha character, I just needed like somebody who was like grounded. there's a difference between all of the other girls. You don't really get to see that with Shauna and Deja that
Yeah,
much,
you
but
don't like I.
you do see the like the jealousy when it comes to like, Jazmine, how she like pretty much had to make herself deal with the fact that there are other girls there, and like I wouldn't say I'd necessarily flaunted it in her face, but I was just unapologetically me, and she already knew the type of person I was. So like that was
Right,
already like something. But I felt like you were the most self-aware. Your character was the most self-aware out of all of the characters because you're just like,
right,
you know what, I got my own thing going on, and I know I'm not stupid. So yeah,
right.
with Shauna, it was just like because I'm running down the list one more time. Shauna was like really a person who was like really street and stuff like that, and she done had kids and stuff since like high school. So my character was like really really happy to link with her because like mind you, I was the nerd in high school that nobody cared about. So I'm like sitting there like sowing my oats and like all of that. And the same thing with Deja, like she was just somebody who I used to tutor. And I used to like, and I used to be over Dion's house every day. And that's just like really like the show how the hood beefs start because some people grew up like being in families, being in households and stuff like that, and now you guys are shooting at each other. Now one of us is dead and one of us is in season 3, joking around.
Right.
And then Maya, which is my favorite character because she has the most fleshed out story. And I got to start the like, when you see Marz, my character with all of the other characters, I want to say
Yeah,
that they're already in their situationship. With Maya is a stranger, and I have 6 episodes to tell a love story between me and her and juggle other romances at the same time. The juggle me and Jazmine and our like love relationship, and then I kind of had to riz Jazmine up. Not Jazmine, Maya up from beginning to end. I had to
yeah,
take her to the studio. I had to take her on a date. I had to take her here, take her that, and make her understand me, and then show why she's so vulnerable. So that was like
yeah.
very, very interesting for me. So like, why do you think Mars struggles with trust?
Okay, so that's an easy answer. I feel like you struggle with trust because honestly, when it came down to Spoken Third, just going back to the series again, season 1 through 3, sorry. I feel like you were like it was just like a dog or get dog type of situation. And I felt like everybody was just really shysty. Like you didn't know who to trust. Women were lying. Even like love interests were just very sneaky, and there was always um, something in a closet. There's always somebody having a skeleton in their closet, or if it was somebody that you did trust, it's just like they
Mm-hmm.
ended up just backstabbing you. So it's just like love interest or in the streets. I just felt like trust wise, it's just like you can't hold nobody too close because of what you've been through, but also because if you get too attached, you end up losing the people that you care about.
Yeah, and this is like I felt like tackling love and stuff like that because apparently June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So it is a very huge coincidence that I'm tackling therapy and stuff like that because men really, really do need to like understand why they have the problems that they have. And a lot of people internalize things, and I'm a person who internalizes things, but I'm very vocal also at the same time. Like I take things on the chin, but I'll let you know why I can't communicate with you or why I can't speak to you. And I feel like I project that through my writing. So like, you seen the first look, the trailer, or whatever you want to call it, a couples therapy that I put on the Spoken Third Instagram. What do you want to get out of it versus what do you think will happen? Do you think all of that is aligned? I didn't tell you much about the project. It's done. It's like.
Right. I've been a little bit left out the loop, but I feel like one thing I can contently say about couples therapy and one thing that I want to see out of Marz in this series is that basically like I want to see some inner healing. Like as you said, like it's Men's Mental Health Month and like mental health. Wow, my gosh, Jesus Christ, whatever. You get what I'm saying. But basically, it's just like the focus of men's mental health and just like for example, it's called couples therapy, and in the midst of this, it's just like you, Marz being the main character, it's going based off a correlation with Spoken Third, and Spoken Third was just a lot of dark trauma, and I feel like that doesn't go away, and you need to heal, and I would love to see you find love but in a healthy manner, and I would love to see you heal and look at things from a positive outlet instead of just seeing it based off of trauma and just how you would react based off of prior events. Like, I would love to see
Yeah,
Marz be a bit healed or find some inner healing within this series.
because to piggyback off of that, when it comes to trauma, I had a bad breakup in 2015, and you've known me when I was like settled down and stuff like that, and like I was like with somebody after that, and it took me a long time to heal. And when I was writing Spoken Third, I felt like I was writing it from the mind state of me, like freshly out of the breakup, me exploring all of the popularity. So, with that being said, like, I have not gone through a lot of street stuff. I have not gone through a lot of like heavy relationship stuff. I'm writing Spoken Third from a time period of like, I'm young and wild and naive and just doing whatever I want to do because of the fact that like I,
Right.
I like so I want to translate that. This is like 2000. This might not be in 2016, but this is definitely the mind state that I had to
Yeah,
write
in that
myself
time.
in. So it's just like I had to do a lot of smartening up. I had like a lot of situations, which is crazy, which is in relationships and in the streets. There's a lot of parallels. There's a lot of things that happen in Spoken Third, especially in season one, where I really had to, for real, like I really had to like sit here and like write that down and not make it look like it really happened because like I said, it's a lot of you know, it's a lot of violence. I can't really tackle
Right.
that much. But like, how do you think Mars's mental state has changed throughout the seasons? Not just in relationships, but like moving forward, I do have to survive. So how do you think I will smarten up?
Okay, so for one, I feel like the saying, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, like it's just I feel like you based off of your experiences, you're very much more self-aware. So I
Yes.
feel like if something shows a repetitive pattern or something shows you an ounce of instinct for you to react in such a manner that you have before, I feel as though you'll be more tact. I feel like you'll be more aware. I feel like you'll know how to handle the situation. And, I feel like, it's not something new to you. Like, you're not new to this anymore. You're true to this. So I just feel as though I feel like I definitely the development, you've been more cautious, and unfortunately, the with that growth and that development, your trust does play a factor in that. Like, you don't know who to trust, but at least now you're more content on like, no, I now know if I can trust this person just based off of conversation or some actions and experiences with them. But I feel like you've grown more considerate, and I just feel as though like when you care about somebody, you now hold them very dear to your heart.
Yeah.
So I feel like when it comes down to love and just love in a general sense, love for family, friends, partnership, I feel like you hold them dearest to you, and I feel like you are now more um, observant to now kind of like read a person, read a situation, and read yourself. Honestly.
Yeah. How do you think you actually what did you think of the first look of couples therapy? Because there's a lot more content going into that.
Okay. So yeah, with the snip that I've seen of couples therapy, the teaser, I noticed that there's a character named Aaliyah, and when I heard um just the conversation between you and Aaliyah based off of the snippet, it sounds like you're kind of geeked. Like, it sounds like you're really fucking with this person, which is a shock to me because like you lost Jasmine, and that was really rough for you, and everybody in the hood knew that. So it's just like for me to hear you talk in such like a way of vulnerability, and you just being very comforting and like flirtatious with her. Like it just, I don't know, you guys, your conversation and the way you guys speak to each other, it just gave like this is not just Marz being a hoe. Like this is Marz really like I think he fucks with her for real. So
Yeah.
it's exciting because honestly, it's giving like it's just giving something completely opposite from what Spoken Third was. Honestly, it's giving like okay, I think Marz is like I think Marz is really finding um he's starting a new chapter, and this could be his potential love interest, and he seems like he's really happy. Like he seems like he really likes this girl just based off of the way you guys speak and your tone of voice with her. Like it's just you seem very vulnerable with this girl. So that's the vibes I got.
It's so funny because couples therapy is the start of Mars's villain arc, but also the start of Mars's soft arc in relationships. Like it's just
Right.
like
I didn't want to say soft, but I
when
did want to say like you're in your
when
soft boy era, like
yeah,
yeah.
when he establishes more dominance, when he establishes more self-awareness, more prowess, and more what's the word, when he is like just more like street cred, more everything, he holds more people dear to his heart because of the fact that he knows that he can protect them. That's why, like,
Yeah.
you see the comment about the violent streak and this and that, because couples therapy is pretty much Spoken Third told in a small little wrapped up story, which is
Right.
kind of like
In an intimate circle, like with the two
intimate,
characters.
smaller, like, smaller stakes. And it pretty much, I want to focus on relationships, healing, trauma, and stuff like that, and then put all of the
Yeah, I really
violence and the
fuck with
street
that.
stuff to the side, so we can actually focus
Right.
on character development and how characters bounce off of each other. Like I have seen,
Right.
like, me meeting up with Aaliyah is not on accident. Me meeting
Okay.
up with Aaliyah takes place literally after season 2 ends, which
I
is
like
kind
that
of,
you said.
it's kind of scummy because like Jasmine, like, the body isn't even cold yet, like, but
Right.
when I'm grieving, like, and when I'm like going through so much stuff, like, you know how season 2 ended with me trying to get the record label deal and all of that, like I'm going through a lot of things that I need a crutch. And who knows me better than somebody I had history with? And my job, to while writing Spoken Third and writing couples therapy, is to introduce this new character, Leah, and give her enough depth for you to believe that we actually did have history, and for you to understand why she's in my life now and why we broke up in the first place. And it's a little bit of mix of both of us, and both of us was the problem.
Okay, I like that. One thing that you said that I want to like piggyback off of is that you said that like, you know, couples therapy is now just kind of like putting all of the street shit and the rivalry and the beef and everything aside. And I like that you said that it's just getting back to like just you and just you being in your software era. But it's a good thing, and also it's just because like initially with Spoken Third, Marz wasn't even in the street shit. He wasn't really, that wasn't his lifestyle, and the lifestyle kind of just knocked at his doorstep. But originally, that wasn't Marz. Marz was really just in it for the music and taking care of the people he loves. And unfortunately, it just became, what it became. But I like that you're getting back to you. Like, the street shit, it just so happened to be a predicament of my life, but this isn't me. This wasn't me when it started. And, that doesn't define who I am now.
Yeah.
So I like that you're getting back to you.
So, what do you expect the role that Aaliyah will play in season 3, if she even makes it to season 3? Because like she could share the same tragedy as Shauna and Jasmine, and even
What I can
Samantha.
say what I can say is that I do feel as though that I think Aaliyah is going to play a major role regardless of whether she's in the season for the long run or not. Just because this is a new love interest, this is a person of Mars's history, and like I said, like it just seems like something different, as far as a love interest and you being open to for the first time since Jasmine, it does speak a lot of volume without it, needing to be said. So I do feel as though Leah's going to play a major role. I do feel like it'll be for the better, regardless of the circumstances of how long you guys run through the season.
Yeah, I like that one because like Aaliyah, like my job is to tell, like I keep talking about my mental state and how it changed, and how I'm more violent and how I'm more like erratic. So my job is to exaggerate the growth between season one and season three. My job is to exaggerate it by telling that story through a person's eyes who actually knew me from before. So it's kind of like it was tricky because it's just like she I have her like only like like if you see how we interact with each other, like on screen, off screen, we're like perfect chemistry. Like that's like my dog in real life. Like she's
Right.
dope and she did not miss a beat, and we have a lot of dramatic scenes together. We have the fight scene with each other when we were arguing. Then we have the scene where like we actually get physical with each other. Like she mushes me and like it gets really really crazy, and it's just like we had 20 minutes to tell a real complete story, and
Yeah, that's dope.
I really it's a huge plot twist at the end, and the plot twist is gonna shape season three. It's gonna shape the future of Spoken Third and how I look at like women in my relationships and everything.
Right. That's exactly what I feel as though is going to happen for Mars in this season.
Yeah. And it's just like the situation with Aaliyah is definitely me taking all of the heartbreaks that I had and me taking each reason why I had the heartbreak and boiling them up into one person. And I don't ever blame my exes or never paint them in a bad light when I talk about them. So Aaliyah is definitely an embodiment of you can make bad decisions but still be a good person. And that's me
Right.
trying to reach deep into her and see if she's changed because I need somebody. Like I desperately need somebody at, at this
Yeah.
point in time. And I'm just hoping that she changed for the better so she can be that somebody I can lean on. Not somebody I necessarily get in another relationship with. Maybe I may be more open after we experience more together, say season three. I don't know. But definitely somebody that I'm in a time of need. Things aren't going my way. I lost Jasmine. I lost people. The record label stuff. I'm dealing with label stuff. I'm dealing with like, you know, trying to come up with new music, trying to do this, do that. All of this I was able to tell in the couples therapy story. So yeah. I guess the verdict
I'm
is that I
excited.
need therapy. I guess I need to go to therapy.
Yeah, you need some therapy, man.
Everybody
You
does.
need it.
Everybody
No,
needs just
literally.
somebody to talk to vent you know,
No
just
problem. I'm definitely glad to provide some insight and honestly a lot of like just positive positive assumptions for this season. Like I think it's going to be great and I'm very excited. Unfortunately, as much as I'm out the loop, I'm very excited to see what's in store. So yeah, I'm excited for you.
yeah, definitely. I hope so. I started shooting season three. I've had really, really good, really, really great scenes so far, and the sky's the limit. And yeah, it's gonna be a crazy one, a real
I'm
crazy
excited,
one.
bro.
But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up because it was only supposed to be 10 minutes, and we're at like damn near like 22. But hey, that's what
Yeah, like
happens
my
when.
whole ride, but was it good though?
Yeah, no, we're great. We're
All right,
great.
perfect,
So
perfect.
yeah, like we're gonna wrap this up. The verdict is I need therapy. Talk to you later, Jazz. I appreciate you for being a part of this. Cause
No
when I have an
problem,
idea
King.
and I'll spam you and like we just get it going.
Of course, I'm always ready to cook up with you. You know the vibes. Couples therapy. Stay tuned. You already know the vibes. I need some therapy. Marz needs some therapy. We all need some fucking therapy.
And I might do the psychology of Jasmine and have you narrate that too. Oh, well, not
Can you?
the psychology of Samantha. I keep thinking,
I'm
yeah,
down for it.
yeah, I got you. I love giving characters backstories.
All right, Marzi. You have a great night.
Also, you too.